Hello and welcome to a brand new Imperial playthrough. My name's Kalan and this is Rimworld. It is a fantastic little game, a colony simulator by Tame and Sylvester. I've been watching this for a very long time. Actually, I used to play this a good 2 or 3 years back when it was early alpha. It's come a long way. It's still in alpha, but it's now on Steam with 14C, I think is the latest release. There's been quite a few changes and I'm looking forward to diving back in and basically relearning how to play. This video, just so you know right now, will be mostly a tutorial video. I'm going to go over what this game is, how it plays, and we'll go into our first colony. We'll start the building of a couple of, buildings, and introduce you to our first 3 colonists. They're already decided. They're going to be Yo-Pro, Jackie, and Winning is Best, shortened to Winning for the actual colonist. Those guys are going to lead our Imperial colony into its first steps. There will be more colonists joining in this game, or at least I hope so, otherwise I'm just going to lose. So if you would like to be a Imperial colonist, then please put your name down in the comments below, and yeah, you'll fit right in, I'm sure, and or die, which will happen at least to some people. So what is Rimworld in its what's the story behind it? Basically you are these 3, the scenario we're playing is you are 3 colonists travelling through space, something bad happens to your ship, you're hurtled out of your crypto sleep onto this planet, and you have to survive against raiders, pirates, natural phenomenon and unnatural sort of psychic phenomenon that's going on. If you can do that, you can build up your base, you can start developing your own kit and eventually build a spaceship and get off the planet. So let's get in there. Let's do a new colony. These are the scenarios that come with the game right now. First one I've just described as Crash Landed. It was the original one, and in my opinion, probably still the best. I mean, the other ones that give you, different scenarios, but if you definitely you're new to the game, this is the good one to go with. The other one we've got is Rich Explorer. You're one person, but you have lots and lots of different really high-end stuff. Or the Lost Tribe, which is complete opposite. You have 5 people, but you have almost no tech, and you start out with almost nothing. There are other ones. You can actually go into the Steam Workshop and make your own scenarios, or you can download other people's scenarios. I'm sure there are going to be some fantastic ones out there. Sorry. If you have a scenario you want to play or you've seen, let me know, and then after this playthrough, if you guys are enjoying it, we'll go again and try and survive in a different, slightly more or less terrifying experience. For now, let's just go into the Crash Landed scenario. So, if you know of Valve and Left 4 Dead, you know that they had an AI director directing the zombies in that game. In a similar way, there is an AI director directing the story in Rimworld. The classic, what's called Cassandra Classic, she will give you a story that ramps up in difficulty as your base improves. Basically, I think the computer decides on the value of your colony and then gives you threats relative to that value. So at the start, we only have 3 people, not much money, not much kit, and no structures. If we get attacked, it'll be by one thing. Later on, we could get attacked by giant packs worth of warg hunters. We'll find out. The other options are Phoebe Chillax, which is a similar version to Cassandra Classic, but just not as intense. It's more for the base builders amongst you. And then finally we have Randy Random, who doesn't care about what he throws at you at what point, he'll just do it. So you could have a game that's really, really dull. You never get any threats, you're just kind of plodding along and not everything's below you. It's possible. Or you could have a base which is like annihilated by 50 bears straight away. So we don't really want to go in for that, because I want to do this more than 2 episodes worth of playthrough. So we're going to go for Cassandra Classic. We're going to go on rough because it's about a medium difficulty. We can ramp that up when I'm more used to this game, but I'm still learning. And then there's permadeath mode. It's essentially Iron Man, in gaming terms. If you don't know what Iron Man is, it basically means you have 1 save, and if you die, then that's it, game over. For me, I'll be playing the Bronze Man rules, which is essentially you honour the standards of Iron Man, but you do keep saves. The reason being is that if you have files that are corrupted, it can ruin entire playthroughs because you just lose your colony in an instant, and it's not, there's no climactic ending, which is what we always want. So let's go for Cassandra Classic Rough. This is the seed of the world that I'm going to be recording on. Bringer, if you want to join in, or at least have a similar world, there's the seed. You can enter that into your Rimworld playthrough and join in. Let's generate a world. Wow, this is a lot of ocean. There's a lot of really cold areas and quite a few deserty areas. We kind of would like a normal zone to begin with, just because I need to get to grips with things. Once we hit our second or third playthrough or whatever, I'll be perfectly happy going up to these Arctic regions up here. For example, though, like the growing period is never. I think that's even true of. Oh no, it kind of. This is about the line here, and like the average temperature is minus 12.8 degrees. It's very cold if you don't know. So we'll do a random site and see what we get. That's middle of the mountains, minus 41 in winter. Just there's nowhere to grow. We're going to rein it back in. Just rein it back in. Where are we going to go? Here. Wait, no, not there. Where is it? Oh, there. Mid deserts. I mean, oh, we could go deserts. I'm going to do one more and see what I get. Perfect. Whatever. That'll do. It's still biome desert. However, it's a much more temperate desert, if that's even a possible thing. We're going to go here. Let's go for it. And now we have our colonists. So these are the people that will be taking us into this brand new age. I generally don't like to mess with these. I kind of just take them as they come. However, I will check for any colonists that are just going to completely derail the colony. Some colonists, as you can see here, this guy, Franklin, is incapable of intellectual and crafting, which means he can't do research and he can't craft. That's not too big a deal. I'm fine with that. You can get colonists that can't fight, that can't firefight, that can't do heal people, that can't do construction. You can get all these in one person, and it basically means that person's useless, completely useless. We don't want that. We want to have at least our first three colonists to be of some use. Anyone else that joins a colony we have no control over. They could be really rubbish, but for these first three people, I'm going to spend just a teensy bit of time looking through and making sure we've got a decent squad. And also the right sex. Because, you know, we've got Jackie, who's a girl, and Winning, and Yopro, who are guys. Just to make sure we got that. Okay, and here we have our three Imperial citizens. First up we have Yopro, who is only 22 years old, but has been alive for 847 years thanks to crypto sleep. He used to be a shopkeeper. Yopro's mother was often ill, and it fell to him to run the store, which was their only source of income. He learned a little about the exotic artifacts which he sold, and a lot about the art of the deal. So social +4 and research +2, that's good. Luddite Rebel. When the majority of people on his world chose to give up their individuality and biological humanity to join together in an online hive mind, Yopro joined a rebel faction that chose to forsake most technology. Well, that's kind of the opposite of you, isn't it, mate? Melee, construction and mining are fantastically improved, but smithing, tailoring, crafting and researching are disabled. Woo! Okay. He is heat tolerant, which is great for us. He's a prostophile. Yopro feels limited in his feeble human body. He often dreams of going bionic. And green thumb. Okay, he grows a bit better. Cool. Which isn't that much, to be honest. As you can see next to these numbers, you've got these little flame symbols. So, for example, animal has no flame symbol, and if that means, if Yopro starts handling animals, like raising them and training them and such, he will learn at a rate of 33%, so a third less than the standard, which is, you know, not fantastic. He won't grow very quickly in that regard. If he is doing a lot of social stuff, or he's fighting in melee, he will learn at a standard 100% rate, which is pretty good. If he is doing shooting, though, he has a burning passion for it and will learn extra quickly. So hopefully we can get him with a gun soon, because he'll rock it up, and I think 20 is the maximum you can get to, and so hopefully he'll become an expert real soon. Next we have Winning the Settler. So he was a child spy. Children are often presumed innocent and can be ideal as spies. Winning was trained in the art of infiltration and information gathering when he was just 9 years old. His years behind enemy lines and the war-torn nature of his homeworld meant he had limited opportunity for education. Okay, so his shooting's increased, but his research decreased. Okay. So at the moment we've got somebody who can't research, and someone who's got research of 0. Fine. Winning was a settler on a new colony world. Such life required a jack of all trades at basic hands-on tasks. Construction, growing, mining +4. Ooh, that's nice. He's incapable of none. Psychically sensitive. That's not good, in my opinion. Basically, anything that happens psychically across the entire colony will affect your colonists in either good ways or bad ways. And he... Generally they're bad though, and he's more sensitive to it. So if he gets hit with sort of like a wave of pressure that increases his stress, he's going to go mad. He is, however, steadfast, and his mental break threshold is -9%. That's awesome. He's got a bit of damage to himself, some scratch and scar and some sickness from the crypto sleep. They'll probably make him vomit when he gets into the ground. And finally we have Jackie the counsellor. She was a story writer. As a child, Jackie was addicted to reading. She would spend all day in her local library with her nose in a book. When budget cuts forced the library to close, Jackie was distraught. She decided to fill the gap by writing her own stories instead. So +4 artistic and +3 research. And counsellor. A terrifying trauma when Jackie was a young adult caused her to develop a serious eating disorder. With counselling, she learned to have a healthier relationship with food and decided to put her new skills to use helping others overcome their emotional problems. Social +9, but she can't firefight and she can't cook. I wonder what her trauma was then. Potentially something with, you know, cooking? That's not good that she can't firefight, but her social is fantastic. She can't, she can't do anything. She runs away essentially, and then cooking. Well, she's a bit limited, but there's a lot of passions here that can be, you know, used later on. And also, she's a researcher. That's fantastic. Hard worker, so you do work faster. Fast walker, but you're jealous. For Jackie, it's degrading to have a less impressive bedroom than someone else. She gets a mood loss if any colonist has a more impressive bedroom. Okay, so you get the best bedroom, Jackie. I'm sure you're completely fine with that. Okay, awesome. Here we go. Okay, the three of you awake in your crypto sleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land in this unknown Rimworld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. Okay, hello guys. Pop out of those. Oh, and there we go. So, oh, we got a dog too. Hey, Shredder. Oh, what a name. Okay, so this is the map. Let's have a look around before we do anything else. Yeah, that's about as I expected it to be, kind of deserty. There are some patches of soil though, which is fantastic, so we'll need those to grow food. We've got granite. You can see what it is in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, by the way. And this is more granite. We've got some compacted machinery, which will be useful to mine out. Okay, so now, first things first, we need to decide a place for us to live. This actually isn't that bad an area because it gives us some natural defences from these rock walls, and we have places to grow food here. So if we build our base there, we can build all our food stuff here. That's quite nice. Okay, let's look at our individual items and materials, and I'll tell you what they all like, kind of do. First of all, the stuff we came down to the planet with, we have 300 wood. Press F to allow people to go and use it. Anything that's forbidden will never be touched at all, and it will be left to either rot or just sit where it is. Let's unforbid our steel. We've got our silver, which is our money. You can use it to make things, but it's best left as money. We have a plasteel knife, which is fantastic, a pistol, and a survival rifle. So our rifle's the best thing. Who's our best shooter? Yopro's a 2, Jackie's a 1. Hey, winning! You get the survival rifle. But Yopro's got a fascination with guns, which, you know, okay, it's not necessarily good. So you can have a pistol. Jackie, you're not really good at anything with melee or like fighting wise, so you just take the knife. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Okay, and we'll unforbid our food supplies. Can I unforbid these things, please? Thank you. There you go. And the components, which you're used to build like more advanced things than just your normal walls or whatever. And medicine, fantastic. Okay, so. Let's first of all go to the Work tab. So this is where you set the priorities for your colonists. You do not directly control your colonists. You can, by clicking on one of them, pressing the draft button, and they will be toggled into like fight mode essentially. If you don't draft them and there's a fight going on, they'll generally just run away, although you can set that. If you have it on draft mode, you can order them to go places. They will go there and they'll stand there doing nothing whilst they wait. After a certain time, they'll get bored and wander off. But for the most part, you use this sparingly, and if you leave people in draft mode, they will even ignore their own hunger or fire or anything just to stand there. So it's not the best thing to do, but you can use it when necessary. So, to dictate what our colonists will do, we go to the Work tab. We'll turn manual priorities on because it makes it better for us. And now we can see what they will do in what order. Things on the left are more important than things on the right. So, and the higher the number, the lower the number, the better. So everyone who can firefight should firefight at the maximum priority, because that means if they're doing anything else, they'll drop what they're doing to go and put out that blaze, which, considering at least for the start, most of our colony will be built out of wood, is a good thing. Being a patient, if you're about to die, please go and rest up at the most priority. They will firefight over dying, but at the same time, they're rarely both together, and you can always draft them or left click them and then right click on the bed and say rest until healed. So that won't always be an issue. Oh. With being a doctor, we have Jackie as a 4, winning as a 5, but Jackie has a burning passion for this, so I'm going to make her our doctor, and she's going to do that above anything else, really. I can make that 2. We'll leave it as 1 for now. Bed rest is really important. However, it's only if you're non-life, like your life isn't threatened, so we'll leave that. Actually, we'll put them as a 1 for now, and then anything that we feel like should be a different order we can come back to later. Flicking switches, there are skill levels for this, but it's just going up to a button and pressing it. There's no skill for that, so everyone should do that as soon as they possibly can. In fact, I'm going to put bed rest down to a 2 because I'd rather they do the flick the switch than go to bed. You'll only do this very sparingly, like if I go to the power tab, for example, you'll see there's this power switch. This is pretty much the only time we'll use this, and it's usually to turn on, say, turrets or defences, and that's really important. Being a warden, that's going to be a 2, I think. Oh, we've got 2 great wardens, but Jackie is the best, so we don't need you to do that, YoPro. We've only got 3 people. If we get any prisoners, like more than a few, we can get a second warden, but for now, we're fine with just Jackie being a warden. Handling, we have who's our best animal handler? Pretty much nobody's good with animals, but YoPro, you are the best, so let's put that up to 2. It's important to feed your dogs, cats, bears, whatever you manage to get as an animal, so that needs to be quite important. Cooking, well, winning is the best and pretty much the only one we want to do in cooking, so that's going to be his main job. Hunting, whilst we have some good hunters, we don't need hunting as an attribute at all. You can just left click on somebody, draft them, and then tell them to kill whatever it is you're shooting, and you're probably going to do it better than they will, so we're going to leave hunting off. Construction, our best constructor, do we have any passions for it? They're both identical. I'm going to give this to YoPro because winning is our cook. I'll give it to winning actually I can give it to him as a secondary task, but he'll do cooking first because it's higher up the list. Repairing, everyone needs to do this as a priority. Growing, our best grower is winning actually, so we're going to take construction down to a 3, so he'll do cooking, then he'll do growing, then he'll do construction. Mining, wow, again, winning is our best miner, but however we do have some passions with these guys, so I'm going to take it away from winning because he's got so much to do right now. I'm going to give it to Jackie and YoPro so they can train up a bit. Plant cutting should be the same as growing. And in fact, in that case, let's put them as a 3. And there we go. There should be plenty for you guys to do. And we can always come back to these if we feel like something isn't being done. Smithing, tailoring, art, and craft, we have no need for yet. We have nothing to make. We have no areas to make things. So we're going to put that in when it's actually necessary. Hauling, I want everything to be hauled as kind of a most priority thing after your main job, because things left outside will decay and rot. Obviously, slag metal, rocks, wherever rocks are, here we are, limestone chunks, and wood, that's not going to decay that much. But these packaged survival meals, they go down at a rate of 0.5 of a unit per day. We don't want those to be deteriorating, so if you get them inside, if you haul them into a storage area, for example, they will decay less. The same goes for weapons. There's no percentage here for now, because these are all brand new. But if you use a weapon or if you leave it outside, its percentage will drop, it will do less damage, and it will be less effective. For now, you can see, for example, the survival rifle does 18 damage on a 0.6 seconds cooldown between firing, but the initial warm-up takes 2.5 seconds. Okay, go back to the work tab. And finally, cleaning, 3, that's fine. Research, we have no research available, but I will leave Jackie as a 3 on research, just in case there's nothing else to do when it's set up. Okay, the other tabs. Restrictions. We need to tell them when to sleep and when to do work. They're not, I mean, you can leave it as anything, but then they kind of don't really do what you want to do at the times you want them to do it. So let's make it so that Jackie gets a nice 5 hours sleep. That's actually 6, I'm a liar. we'll make it so that the other two get 5 hours of 2. We just want to stagger it a little bit. Then we'll give them anything afterwards for an hour, and we'll make them work after that. 5 hours of work. Oops. We'll have an hour break and then an hour of joy, so they don't get too stressed. An hour's break and then 5 more hours of work. So 10 hours out of the day you're working, which in this desperate situation, you know, that's perfectly reasonable. We're then going to give them an hour of break, 2 hours of joy, and then an hour or 2 of anything they want to do. So they can do more work if they're perfectly fine, or they can go to bed early. That's kind of the flexibility you've got with this. And at the moment they're all unrestricted, but we haven't really got an area to restrict them to. The next tab is the Assign tab. It's mostly useful for like assigning certain styles of clothing. Maybe you want your brawlers, your frontline melee troops to have personal shields that protect them from bullets or certain armor plating, whereas you don't want that on your ranged shooters. We don't need anything like that for now, but that's what we'll do when we get to it. The rest of these tabs, oh sorry, the factions is important. This is where you know the other inhabitants of this planet, or at least the ones close to you. Pirates, like the Night Tigers, oh that's an awesome name, they are always hostile. They're going to attack you no matter what. They just want to steal your stuff, take your people, and rape and pillage essentially. As you can see, everybody hates them, and they'll attack anybody. If you have visitors from any friendly settlement in your area, they will come and attack them if they can. They'll attack anybody they can. Okay, we are also hostile with a tribe. This is just a group of tribespeople that have decided they don't like us. They will occasionally send raiders to us to attack us, and they won't be very friendly. If we capture their people and release them on good terms, they'll eventually get better reputation with us, and they'll eventually become like these guys who are friendly with us. The friendly group, so Miller's Hamlet, Township at the Cliff, and Green Iguana Alboyo, they are going to occasionally send traders to our village, who we can obviously sell stuff to, get some silver, or buy some meals if we're low on food, that kind of thing. If we kill them, or if they are attacked and we don't really help them, they're going to lose reputation and they'll become hostile to us, so that's something we've got to watch out for. Okay, the rest of these tabs are pretty much not that important. You've got the map, which you never interact with any ever again. You don't go anywhere. This is just showing you where you could have gone. You've got the history of your wealth, you've got statistics. Research we will get to in the end, but for now we need to actually build a research bench, which is going to be a little bit of a ways off. And that's essentially it, apart from the most important tab. The Architect tab. Okay, so this is where you do everything. It's where I can tell them to chop wood if I so desire. I can tell them to mine through this mountain. I can tell them to cut plants, harvest fruit from plants. I'm not going to give very many plants to harvest from in here. Ooh, what are these? These guys, the agaves, they have fruit on them we can harvest. The orders tab is one you're going to use quite a lot. Zones and areas. This is where you create, I've lost it, stockpiles and growing zones. You can also expand your home zone, which is kind of your main area which you'll defend or put out fires. And you also, in the latest release, you need to build roofs as well over your buildings. Otherwise, rain will get in and your people will not be happy. Structures should be pretty obvious. This is just where you can build your buildings. You can build them out of any material you have, and same with the doors. Obviously wood is the most plentiful, steel will do you the best sort of like strength, but it's kind of expensive, and silver is a waste. It'll look pretty, but it's you need your silver for other stuff really. Power we'll get to later on. Security, this is where we can build traps and sandbags. We'll eventually be able to build turrets if we research it. Miscellaneous is just extra stuff, which tool cabinets, for example, increase the work speed at certain locations, whereas graves are necessary to bury bodies. If you leave a body out and your colonists are near to it, they'll lose their morale and they'll not be happy. So we do want to get graves for people. And this is floors is the first of the mods that I've added. I've added 2 mods. One is more floors. We get these standard floors in the standard game. I think you get wood floor as well. I think you actually get these ones here, but the rest of these wooden ones and the more floors tab, which we'll get more of as we research further things, they are all unique to this mod, and it doesn't really do much apart from makes it prettier for you. It's just a way of customizing it so it doesn't all look grey. Joy, should be obvious. This is where you build things that give people joy. The ship, we can't build it, we haven't researched it. And finally, temperature. Temperature is very important. Your colonists will die from either heat waves or cold snaps. You need to make sure that all your bases and your areas are well temperatured. The other mod that I did, I believe, is in production. I can't... Oh, there we go. Basic prosthetics workbench. The other mod is having better prosthetics. So you're going to have things like bionic legs, which make you move faster, or bionic eyes. Because when you're fighting, you will lose certain areas, like limbs, or maybe you're fighting a robot and it tears off your ear. You can build yourself a replacement ear, and it'll need to be surgically grafted onto your face. Hopefully it won't come to that, but you never know. And maybe we can turn one of you into a full cyborg. That'll be fun. But for now, let's ignore this, and let's start setting up our first area. In fact, no, we know where our area is going to be, and we'll do this in the next episode. This has been the tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy this or you want to see more, please leave a comment, leave a like, let me know what's going on. And if you want to become part of our tribe, or our Imperial stronghold, then let me know, and I can slot you in at the next possible chance. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Kalan, and this is it. Bye!